So to add a data to a database, one way of doing that is that you basically need to have a code written or coded on individual pages. But coding something on individual pages, it would mean that if I need to use the same code on any other page, I'm going to rewrite it. It's at times it is disturbing when you are starting PHP. I would suggest that you use what we call code reuse of including one page, and you have all our functions written on one page, and this page is basically what is included on each and every page. Okay, that way it will lessen our time of development, and is the code we can easily use code reuse there. All right, and that's what we're going to do. So what you need to do is to click at the file and then select new. Still, we want to select a new PHP file and then click at create. All right, so this PHP file I'm clicking at, and I'm going to its code. So I don't want any of these lines. I am deleting them out of the way. So I'll basically have the PHP code written here. Writing a PHP code, just like HTML, PHP has the starting tag, which is looking like that. Okay, and then you leave some space where I'll be writing my other PHP codes, and then I'll end the tag like that. So anything between the two is basically going to be our PHP code. Okay, so I'm saving this file, save as, and I'll save it to my file, my site where it is saved. So my site is saved.logical drive C. Open it in a folder called XAMPP, in htdocs, in my shop. So I'm going to save my file there, and I'm going to call it my PHP files.php. My PHP files.php is my file name. So I click at save. Right, then I'm going to go back to the index page, and on this index page I'm interested in its code. What I am doing, I'm going to add, to embed, actually that's the word, to embed PHP within the index.php. So I'll click at that point, and then I'll leave some space on number 1. Then I'll insert PHP code there. Okay, some space, then I'll close my PHP code. Then inside there, I'm going to take note of the upper lines. Okay, as we do the coding, you're going to notice something. There is nothing so far that is special. So when I click at and I look at include, and then I enclose it. Okay, so with whichever page that you are including has to be inside the double quotation, and then I say my PHP files.php. So the moment I save, oh, this is a PHP code set statement, and I have to terminate. Okay, so the moment I save changes, you'll notice that it has now added something there. This means the code is the actual page code, and the PHP option is actually this page. Okay, so even if now I close this, I basically have PHP code embedded within my code. All right, so whatever that I put there, will be visible. Let's just experiment. I echo. Echo means you want to push something to be visible on the screen. So echo, the program is added successfully. Okay, this is a statement, and I need to terminate it at the end. I need to put a semicolon at the end. So saving, realize that I've put it under my PHP files.php. So I'm saving changes made to this, not that, but this. So I'm saving changes made there, and okay, save. Then when I go back to, because it has already been added, when I refresh, I expect to see something written there. You see, the program is added successfully, which is okay. That means PHP code is really embedded within this page, right? All right. So for now, let's just get that out of the way. Saving changes made, Ctrl S to save changes made. Now we want to be able to add content to the database. I'm going back to the source code and clicking the design. So what we are interested in when we're adding data to the database, we are interested in the names of each controls that are carrying data to the database. What you need to do is to click at the code and the control, then check your properties window. You should be able to see something like name somewhere. Okay, so we have text field is text field. All right, so yours should be able to show you name somewhere, and you have text field. Change that text field to cat or cats, maybe categories. Okay, so change that name where we have the text field, change it to cats and press enter. Alternatively, you need to click at it, okay, and then switch to split window. Okay, then you look at the name equal to, change the text field there and change it to cats. Okay, the cats is going to be our name that we are going to always refer to. All right, then another thing that we would need to know is the name of the button that we shall be clicking at. When I click at it, this is the code that creates this button, and it's a submit button, but the name is button. I want to change the name to btn cat. Okay, then the value equal to submit. I want the value. The value is this word that you see on top. That's its value. So the value is going to be create. All right, so when I click somewhere, you realize that it has now changed to create. Save changes made. So we know our content is going to be carried by the name cats, and the button that we shall be clicking at is a button called btn cat, or let's say cats. All right, btn cats. So saving changes made. I'm back to my PHP. So my PHP, in the code of my PHP, I need to code some configuration to the server first. Okay, but before we look at the configuration to the server, let us now see the structure of what we call a function. A function, like I said when I was starting in the previous chapters, is a small program that is written to accomplish a specific task within a big program. That's what we call a function. So a function, to write it in PHP, we start with the keyword function. And then we write the function name, adding categories. Then we put 2 brackets that will carry the arguments. An argument is what or which kind of data you are taking in to your function that is going to be performed actions to. Then we put curly braces. The curly braces mark the beginning and the end of the block that is going to be executed. So we can do it this way. So the function code, the code goes here. Okay, this is where we write the code, and this is the function name. So to add or to call a function, we just need to ensure that we call the whole of this.